On June 4, 2025 at 6 a.m. local time, the Holy See, through the Apostolic Nunciature in Washington, D.C., via Monsignor Veslav Tumor, announced two significant decisions. Pope Leo XIV has accepted the resignation of Bishop David A. Zubik, who reached the mandatory retirement age of 75 last September. Simultaneously, he has appointed Auxiliary Bishop Mark A. Eckman to succeed Zubik as the 13th Bishop of the Diocese of Pittsburgh. A farewell to Bishop Zubik. Bishop Zubik has been at the helm of the Diocese of Pittsburgh since 2007, following his leadership in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 2003 to 2007. A faithful servant for nearly 2 decades, he oversaw a time of significant pastoral and structural renewal in the region. In a heartfelt letter to clergy and staff, Zubik shared, "I am both grateful and thrilled with this appointment. Bishop Eckman knows the diocese. And we know him as an exceptional pastor, and outstanding administrator, truly an exemplary priest." Responding to questions at the press conference, Zubik confirmed he is not stepping back from ministry. He plans to volunteer weekly with Catholic charities, offer spiritual direction, and continue celebrating Mass, even quipping he looked forward to handing over a pile of folders on his desk. Introducing Bishop Eckman. Born February 9, 1959 in Pittsburgh, Bishop Eckman is a true son of the city. He attended St. Valentine Elementary in Bethel Park and South Hills Catholic High, now Seton LaSalle, in Mt. Lebanon. He earned a B.A. from Duquesne University, 1981, then pursued seminary studies at St. Paul's Seminary, East Carnegie, and St. Vincent Seminary, La Trobe, culminating in a Master of Divinity and ordination on May 11, 1985. His pastoral journey includes parochial vicar at Resurrection, St. Sebastian, St. Valentine, St. Winifred, and St. John Vianney, 1985 to 1998. Chaplain at Seton LaSalle High School and DePaul School for Hearing and Speech. Pastor of St. Sylvester, 1998 to 2009, then St. Norbert and St. Thomas More parishes, 2009 to 2021. Administrator and later founding pastor of Resurrection Parish, 2021, merging St. John Capistran and St. Thomas More. Served as Episcopal Vicar for clergy personnel, 2013 to 2020, exercising pastoral reach in clergy assignments. Appointed Auxiliary Bishop by Pope Francis, November 2021, ordained January 11, 2022. Also Vicar General and Secretary for the Diocese. Eckman's episcopal motto is, "To serve in faith and charity." As Auxiliary Bishop, he participated in diocesan governance and national bodies including the USCCB National Advisory Board, Seminary Admissions Boards, and Permanent Diaconate Formation Boards. Beyond his administrative duties, Eckman is known as an avid nature photographer, enjoys hiking, skiing, and cherishing time with extended family. The press conference. At 10 a.m. On June 4, a press conference in the Diocesan Pastoral Center's McDowell Auditorium brought long applause and emotion. Present were Bishop Eckman, Bishop Zubik, and Auxiliary Bishop Walter Shade. Eckman shared his reaction. "I was surprised by the call. I thought I was going to be sent elsewhere, and when I discovered I would remain in Pittsburgh, I settled. I am honored that the Holy Father thought highly enough of me to lead such a magnificent diocese." He also reflected on the heritage of Pittsburgh's faith leaders. "We've had wonderful shepherds, each offering their own gifts. With God's grace and the prayers of the faithful, together we will build God's kingdom here on earth. Support and blessings from the church community." Archbishop Nelson J. Perez, Philadelphia, described Eckman as a true gift to Western Pennsylvania, praising his pastoral care and administrative acumen. Bishop Larry J. Kulik, Greensburg, said Eckman's dedication will make him a wonderful and spirit-filled shepherd. Bishop Timothy Sr., Harrisburg, extended congratulations and prayers, highlighting Eckman's deep faith and pastoral vision. Looking ahead, installation and ministry priorities. Installation Mass is set for Monday, July 14, 2025 at St. Paul Cathedral in Oakland. The Diocese of Pittsburgh spans 6 counties, serving over 615,000 Catholics within nearly 1.9 million residents. Eckman emphasizes continuity, pastoral support for priests, and evangelization with youth and families, signaling inclusive, mission-focused leadership. Bishop Mark A. Eckman, the man behind the mitre. Behind the reverent mitre and ceremonial crozier lies a deeply humble, accessible man, Mark Anthony Eckman, a bishop who still refers to himself simply as a parish priest at heart. Those who have worked closely with him describe Bishop Eckman as quietly courageous, deeply prayerful, and a listener, not a talker, when others are in pain. A Pittsburgh priest raised in a working-class home. Eckman's roots are deeply planted in Pittsburgh soil. Raised in the South Hills suburb of Bethel Park, his formative years were shaped by traditional Catholic family values. Friends recall how Mark, then a quiet, kind boy, often helped older neighbors carry groceries or mow lawns without being asked. His sister, Angela Eckman Brenner, shared. Even as a child, Mark was reflective. He wasn't loud or flashy. But when he said something, you listened. He had this gentle, wise presence even as a teenager. A calling forged in youth. His vocation didn't come with flashing lights or sudden visions, it came in silence, in moments of prayer, in masses celebrated in his parish church of St. Valentine's. He once told a seminarian, "God doesn't shout. He whispers. He speaks in the heart stillness, when you stop trying to prove your worth and just start saying yes." Public reactions across Pennsylvania and beyond. Faithful in Pittsburgh, joy, hope, and new energy. In the hours following the Vatican announcement, dozens of parishes across the diocese held special masses of thanksgiving. Children waved handwritten signs that read, "We love Bishop Mark." Choirs rehearsed festive hymns, while elderly members cried with joy. Susan Malloy, an elderly parishioner from Resurrection Parish, said, "He was my pastor before he became a bishop. Now, he's our bishop. I know we're in good hands." Youth groups in places like MD Lebanon, Brookline, and Bethel Park organized spontaneous rosary vigils for their new bishop, praying for wisdom, health, and strength. The liturgical symbolism of episcopal transition. Bishop Eckman will receive the papal bull of appointment during the July 14 installation, a scroll-like formal document from Pope Leo XIV, bearing the Holy Father's signature and the seal of the fisherman. During the installation Mass, a few key symbolic moments will occur. Processional with crozier, Eckman will be handed the pastoral staff, symbolizing his role as shepherd of the local church. Cathedra seating, he will sit in the bishop's chair, cathedra, at St. Paul Cathedral, officially taking possession of the diocese. Greeting of the faithful, he will bless the people from the sanctuary, a gesture of welcome and unity. Bishop Zubik will be present to witness and assist in this sacred handing over, a reminder of apostolic continuity. Behind the Vatican decision, why Pope Leo XIV chose him. In Rome, insiders familiar with the dicastery for bishops have quietly noted that Bishop Eckman's profile came up early during the consultation phase. According to a Vatican source, what impressed the Holy Father was Bishop Eckman's long, tireless service not only in parishes but also in clergy care. He knows how to heal. Pittsburgh has faced its wounds, now it needs a father who knows how to lead by listening. Pope Leo XIV, a pontiff known for prioritizing local humility, pastoral closeness, and doctrinal fidelity, reportedly saw in Eckman a reflection of Saint Joseph, silent, strong, faithful. Challenges ahead, a diocese in transition. Declining attendance and vocations. Like many dioceses in the U.S., Pittsburgh has seen significant changes. Fewer active priests. School closures and parish mergers. A rapidly aging clergy. Bishop Eckman's first major responsibility will be to continue shepherding the on mission for the Church alive. plan, a diocesan-wide restructuring that began under Zubik. But he will need to do more than manage. He will need to inspire. Digital evangelization and youth outreach. In his first press conference, Eckman emphasized engaging young adults through parish-based digital catechesis, youth pilgrimages to Rome and Lourdes, rebuilding trust post-COVID and post-abuse crisis. We need to show them that the church is not a building, it's the face of Christ in every one of us. National and global impact. The USCCB, United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, congratulated Bishop Eckman and immediately added his name to upcoming committee rosters on evangelization and catechesis. Cardinals from Washington, D.C., New York, and Mexico City sent private messages to the Pittsburgh Diocesan Office, acknowledging the strength of his appointment. Some Catholic media outlets are calling Bishop Eckman one of the most pastoral episcopal appointments of the year. In Europe, several bishops in Germany and Italy noted Pope Leo XIV's recent trend of selecting homegrown, diocesan-based leaders over academic or Vatican-track candidates. Voices from the clergy, the priests who know him best. Father Joseph Larocco, who served with Eckman in the South Hills Deanery, remarked, "Mark never forgot a priest's birthday. He visited the sick priests himself. He always said, we must be family to each other before we can be shepherds to others." Deacon Paul Gregory, assigned under Eckman's pastoral care, added, "He prayed before meetings, not just for guidance, but for humility. He'd ask, 'Lord, help me to hear what I'm not hearing yet.' That's a rare grace." Several senior priests testified how Eckman, while Episcopal vicar, would drive long hours just to meet a priest struggling with burnout or illness. His leadership, they said, was quiet but dependable, not performative but real. Lay testimonies, from parishioners to school children. In Bethel Park, where Eckman once taught confirmation classes, teenagers still remember his humor and care. "He knew every one of our names," said 16-year-old Emma Draves. "And he'd email us individually during exams saying, 'God believes in you. I do too.'" In St. Sylvester Parish, where he pastored for over a decade, seniors organized a prayer novena the day of his announcement. Rose Petrica, age 83, wept on camera as she said, "He walked with my husband through his cancer. He sat with me when I couldn't pray anymore. That man is God's heart in shoes." A young mother in Lebanon shared how Bishop Eckman supported her family when her son, born with Down syndrome, was refused catechism classes elsewhere. "He welcomed us. He told my son, 'You reflect God more purely than most.' And we never felt excluded again." Seminary Memories, Portrait of a Young Priest. At St. Vincent Seminary, Eckman was known not as the smartest but as the most grounded. Professors recall that while others argued doctrine, Mark would often say, "If it doesn't lead you to love people more, what's the point?" His seminary rector, Father Andrew Hackman, now retired, once said, "Mark Eckman was the kind of man who could be invisible in class and indispensable in chapel. He lived the liturgy. You could tell God was his first audience." A classmate, now bishop of a Midwestern diocese, described him as the most sincere man I ever studied with. No ambition. Just vocation. The Installation Mass, Behind the Scenes and Symbolism. Preparations for Bishop Eckman's official installation on Monday, July 14, 202, have involved hundreds. Choirs from every deanery will join a combined diocesan youth ensemble. Over 30 bishops are expected to attend, including senior cardinals from New York, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. Papal Nuncio Archbishop Christophe Pierre will deliver Pope Leo XIV's letter in Latin and English. The Mass will be broadcast live on EWTN, Catholic TV, and the diocese's YouTube channel. Eucharistic adoration will take place throughout the day in parishes across the diocese as a sign of unity and intercession. Liturgical highlights include Laying on of Hands by Bishop Zubik, handing over the Gospels to Bishop Eckman, symbolizing his duty to preach truth. Kiss of peace from fellow bishops, signifying acceptance into the College of Bishops. A mission for the times, challenges and vision ahead. As bishop, Eckman's immediate pastoral priorities include 1. Restoring trust post-crisis. He will continue implementing trauma-informed approaches to abuse prevention and healing, building on Bishop Zubik's legacy. 2. Evangelizing the next generation. He aims to launch a Living Witness digital campaign, featuring stories of faith from ordinary Catholics, and create a diocesan office for young adult ministry. 3. Strengthening vocations and family life. Bishop Eckman believes the priesthood crisis is a family crisis. He is planning a year of fatherhood, inspired by Saint Joseph, to rebuild sacrificial masculinity in homes. 4. Expanding social outreach. Plans are underway to open 3 new Catholic outreach centers for mental health, addiction recovery, and post-abortion healing, one in each of the diocese's poorest deaneries. Global symbolism, a Pope's pastoral vision in action. Pope Leo XIV's choice of Bishop Eckman is being hailed internationally as a model of localized discernment over elite appointments, spiritual maturity over institutional ambition, servant leadership over strategic ladder climbing. An editorial in La Civiltà Cattolica called it a return to the early Church's wisdom. A bishop chosen from the people he serves, not from power corridors. Vatican officials have noted that Leo XIV intends to continue such appointments, bishops who know their sheep by name and can smell like their flock. Legacy and promise, the next chapter for Pittsburgh. As he prepares to step into full episcopal authority, Bishop Eckman's approach remains personal and pastoral. He has said, "Titles fade, but relationships are eternal. If I die having loved and served well, that will be my only success." The Diocese of Pittsburgh, rich with Catholic immigrants, resilient laity, wounded hearts, and faithful workers, now welcomes its 13th bishop not with fear, but with joyful expectation. In conclusion, a shepherd for this hour. In an age of digital noise, distrust in institutions, and religious drift, the Church in Pittsburgh receives a bishop who walks quietly, listens deeply, and prays constantly. Bishop Mark A. Eckman, appointed by Pope Leo XIV, does not enter as a conqueror, but as a man of compassion, forged in the heart of the people he now leads. He carries no illusions of grandeur, only a daily habit of Eucharistic adoration, a worn rosary in his coat pocket, and a shepherd's heart. The Church in Pittsburgh is not starting over, but is being renewed from within. And as Bishop Eckman himself concluded in his first press conference, "I come not with answers, but with love. Let us walk together, and Christ will lead."